All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is meteorologist Elijah Kirby with Shelbyville Weather, and we are live due to a tornado warning that has just been issued here for extreme northwestern Moore County. So, going to go ahead and zoom in on this here so we can get a good look at it. And this is one of those isolated supercell thunderstorms that we've been talking about over the past couple days that could impact our area. And we're seeing that right now here with a new tornado warning that has just come out. Now, this storm is still in Lincoln County for the most part, but we will be watching it over the next little bit as it tries to slowly inch its way towards Moore County, okay? So just want to set the record straight here. The tornado warning is not in effect for Bedford or Coffee County. This is strictly for northwestern Moore County, around Chestnut Ridge, really. Even Lynchburg is not in this tornado warning at this time. But this is really a tornado warning just for those along Chestnut Ridge, along 231 there that hugs the Lincoln and Moore County line. So we're going to be watching this storm very closely. Right now it is located between Frank Ewing and Delina here in extreme western Lincoln County. And this is moving off towards the north and the east. Let's go ahead and look and see how fast. So it's moving east at 30 miles an hour, so not overly quick here. But we're going to go ahead and track this out, especially the area rotation here. We're going to track this out at 30 miles an hour, and we'll see how long how long it'll take to get to a few of the communities in Moore County. So Boonville, about 40 minutes. Mulberry, 38 minutes. Lynchburg, around 52 minutes. And then we're getting into Franklin County here with Cumberland Springs in just under an hour, okay? So, again, we have a tornado warning that is in effect here for northwestern Moore County, including Chestnut Ridge, okay? So, this tornado warning does not include anyone else in Moore County or anyone in Bedford or Coffee County. This is strictly for Chestnut Ridge right along Highway 231 here in extreme northwestern Moore County. Now, if this storm maintains its strength, there's a good chance that this warning will be extended further towards the north and the east, but we're just going to have to keep an eye on that just to see. And I do want to point out that a lot of these storms, even though they haven't looked very impressive on the radar, have been showing, good signs at the ground level of some good low-level rotation. We had at least a funnel cloud reported with a little shower over Lewisburg earlier, and then of course we had the tornado that occurred with this same storm over extreme northwestern Alabama about an hour ago. Okay, so these storms have been producing funnel clouds and tornadoes over the past few hours. So that's why we're going to take this tornado warning seriously, especially if you were in Chestnut Ridge in Moore County. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and look at the rotation here. We're pretty close to the Huntsville radar site, so we should get a good idea here of what the rotation looks like. And if I'm being completely honest, right this moment, the rotation doesn't look all that great. There is some low-level rotation, and the storm does look fairly, well developed here on the radar. So, I do understand why there is the tornado warning in effect here. And especially since a lot of these storms have been producing funnel clouds and things like that, even without there being a very defined area of rotation showing up on the radar. So, I do want to mention that there is a tornado watch about to be issued until 10 o'clock p.m. for all of Middle Tennessee. Okay, so all of Middle Tennessee will be included in this tornado watch until 10 o'clock p.m. So that is about to be issued here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So the reason that we're live right this moment is for the tornado warning here. That tornado warned storm here over Lincoln County, and this is moving towards Moore County eventually. And part of the warning polygon does clip extreme northwestern Moore County, including Chestnut Ridge. Okay. The storm shelters will be opening in Bedford County. I haven't got a notification about that yet, but we're not under a tornado watch or anything at this time, so the shelters haven't opened yet. I do also want to point out that the Moore County schools are are sheltering their students in the schools right now. So I do want to let people know about that too, that there is students that are sheltering at the Moore County High School and Lynchburg Elementary School. So again, this tornado warning does not include anyone in Bedford or Coffee County. This is strictly for extreme northwestern Moore County. It doesn't really even include Lynchburg proper. This is just for Chestnut Ridge, right there along 231 at this current moment. But that could change over the next little bit here. Just looking at a few different radar products that we have here that could show us some of the rotation in the atmosphere, and not seeing a lot with this storm. I'm going to go ahead and open up the Huntsville chat room just so I can let me open up. Okay, so they haven't said anything about the tornado warning here. And again, that tornado watch until 10 p.m. is about to come out. Again, a watch means that conditions are favorable for the development of tornadoes. But a tornado warning means you need to seek shelter because a tornado has been spotted on radar, or with a report from a trained weather spotter. Okay, so this is really what we're looking at right now. Not seeing anything super impressive with the velocity data, but we still do have the tornado warning in effect here, and we're going to stick with it until until they decide what to do with it here after a while. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out another storm track here with this cell. And again, this storm is moving off towards the northeast at around 30 miles an hour. So this will bring it right through or just south of Lynchburg, at least the greatest area of rotation. Mulberry, about 30 minutes. Boonville, 33 minutes. Lynchburg, 45 minutes. And Cumberland Springs in 54 minutes. So those times still looking fairly good here. So Lynchburg, I'd be ready to batten down the hatches here about 3:45 or so, okay? Or 3:15, excuse me. I'd be ready to batten down the hatches there in Lynchburg. And Mulberry along Highway 50, you have probably until 2:15 or so, because you're not technically under the tornado warning at this time. But keeping a close eye on it here, okay? So this storm should stay south of Bedford County. I am going to be watching it closely for Coffee County, though, especially Hillsboro, Arnold Air Force Base, along I-24 there in extreme southeastern Coffee County, just to be on the safe side. But this storm should stay I'm not going to say well to the south, but it should stay south of Bedford County. And this again is an isolated supercell storm here. This is not the main event. This is just something that we saw was possible over the last few days, and that has definitely come to fruition here, especially after we've had the increased sunlight here in the afternoon hours, able to zap up some of that moisture from the ground that we had this morning with the morning rainfall, and it's really muggy out there, really, really muggy. So, yes, Lincoln County is under a tornado warning, Park City and northward. So along 231 and 431 from Park City all the way up to the Bedford and Marshall County line is under a tornado warning at this point. And I do want to mention that, there is a little bit of a hooking structure within this storm. You can see that pretty well right here. The tornado watch just came out. So you have the warm inflow air, 82 degrees here at the Fayetteville airport. And then you have the cool air wrapping back around the storm. And then right in this area is probably where you could have some, tornadic rotation there just on the north side of Fayetteville. So, and I'm still not seeing anything crazy in the velocity data. But we'll keep a close eye on it just to see. So, tornado watch has just been issued again, just like I was saying a minute ago, and this goes until 10 o'clock p.m. So this new tornado watch is for the main event that'll be coming here over the next few hours here. Timing for the main event will be between 5 and 8 p.m. more than likely, give or take an hour or two on both ends there. But the reason why we're live right now is for the tornado warning here in northwestern Moore County, including Chestnut Ridge, okay? And right now we're really just waiting for the storm to actually get to Moore County. It's still in a good portion of Lincoln County right this moment, so. This storm could impact Tullahoma. I'm not going to say it's not going to, but I would keep an eye on it if you are in Tullahoma, just to be on the safe side, because this storm has been pulsing up and down in strength, and it might be coming back down right this moment anyway. But definitely a couple minutes ago, it was starting to pulse back up, and then of course it produced a tornado in northwest Alabama about an hour or so ago, and lots of heavy rainfall along US 64 here in just to the west of Fayetteville. And then, you still have that warm, moist air here coming up. The 82 degree temperature and 70 degree dew point. That's pretty stout, moist environment there. And right in here is where the tornado would be located at if it was to form, okay? So just keep that in mind, Shelbyville, 5 to 8 p.m. for the main event. This storm in particular that I'm watching right now is not going to impact Bedford County, okay? 5 to 8 p.m., give or take an hour or two. Yes, this is south of Bedford County. Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree, Miss Kathy. Not great at all. No, this storm will not impact Bedford County. So that includes Shelbyville. This storm will not impact Bedford County or Shelbyville. As I stated just a minute ago, this storm could impact Tullahoma, but I'm keeping a close eye on it. But I don't want to completely rule out Tullahoma from the potential path just because. So tornado warning expires in 22 minutes here. Still not seeing anything overly concerning from velocity point of view anyway. Still keeping an eye on it here. I also apologize that my my live stream says 5, or it says like 5/8, I think, May 8th or something like that, 2025. It's clearly not May 8th, but I'm keeping for our live stream coverage later, if that does end up happening, I will have the correct title on there for us. This one kind of came up. Hey, Rocco. Rocco's on here. So Lynchburg is included in this, or is not included in the tornado warning. or at least downtown Lynchburg. But portions of Moore County, northwestern Moore County, including Chestnut Ridge, right along U.S. Highway 231, there is included in the tornado warning. So that's why we're live at this point. But this warning could be extended, further towards the east, and that new warning would likely include Lynchburg. But at this point, I just don't know if if they'll extend the warning. Still not overly impressed with the rotation that I'm seeing here on the radar. And we're fairly close to the radar site, so we would be getting pretty good scans in if there was something on the ground. But if you're in Lincoln County, if you're in Chestnut Ridge and Moore County, continue to stay sheltered for a couple more minutes here, because the warning will expire in 20 minutes, just to be on the safe side. We want to make sure that everybody is taking their tornado precautions, because as I've mentioned, we've had some really strange storms today, with a couple of tornadoes that have dropped, including potentially one right outside of Lewisburg, from storms that haven't even produced any lightning. So pretty interesting stuff with these storms so far this afternoon. Franklin County's fine right now. I'd keep an eye on this storm here over Lincoln County, because it is moving in, Franklin County's general direction. I'm going to pull this out just a little bit more here with the timing, and we'll go into detail with it. So Mulberry, 26 minutes. Lynchburg, 40 minutes. Cumberland Springs, 50 minutes. Tullahoma, around 60 minutes if it reaches that far north. I think the worst of the storm might stay south of Tullahoma, but, around 60 minutes for Tullahoma. Estill Springs, 63 minutes. Winchester, 66 minutes. Deckard, around 70 minutes, okay? So that's what we're looking at right now on the latest times. And again, this storm will stay south of Bedford County, okay? So Bedford County is... I don't see this being a big threat for Bedford County, and this threat is really specifically for Moore County and potentially Southern Coffee County as well as Franklin County. There is not a tornado warning in effect in Lynchburg proper. I know the Lynchburg city limits are technically the whole county, but the tornado warning is for extreme northwestern Moore County, right along State Route 129 here, and Chestnut Ridge here in extreme northwestern Moore County, okay? So Lynchburg is not included in this tornado warning. Lois is not included in this tornado warning, and Liberty Hill is not included in this tornado warning at this time, okay? So this tornado warning is just in effect for Chestnut Ridge, where 129 and 231 come together and split off right there really quickly right on top of Chestnut Ridge, okay? Yes, there's plenty more to get through behind this cell. I'm going to go ahead and show that, just because this storm doesn't look all that impressive right this moment, and I feel comfortable enough with going away from it. But so we do have a couple other supercell thunderstorms trying to pop off here in northern Mississippi, and then here's our main event. So I'm going to zoom out here. Here is our main event right here. This is going to be a line of storms right along the cold front, and as you can see, they're already lit up with the severe thunderstorm warnings here off to the west in eastern Arkansas. So that is going to be our main event here over the next few hours. But again, it's probably going to be 3, 4, maybe even upwards of 5 hours here before we get the worst of the weather. So besides the isolated supercells that we're seeing right this moment. So it looks like there might be a new hook trying to form on this storm. I'm going to look at the velocity data. So the rotation is getting a little bit better here. The greens indicate winds blowing towards the radar site, and the reds indicate winds blowing away from the radar site. And when they meet close together here, that's where, we could have a possible tornado. And again, this is moving off towards the north and east. So right now it's on the eastern side of Fayetteville, okay, and moving off towards the north and east. So might just skirt north of downtown Fayetteville. But, the rotation still isn't overly impressive, don't get me wrong. But, it is a little bit more defined than it was a couple moments ago. Nothing has changed with the second line of storms. We're still doing good with the forecast there for the second line. So tornado warning remains in effect until 3 p.m. So we have another 15 minutes here on this tornado warning. I'm gonna, of course, keep a close eye here on the rotation. But as you can see, they have trimmed back the warning quite a bit here outside of the Giles County line. But we still do have that little sliver of northwestern Moore County under the tornado warning. So the latest radar scan shows a little bit of a better hook showing up here on the radar. So, of course, we have the warm, moist air pulling into the storm, and then the cool air wrapping up here. And then there's where the possible tornado would be located there. And it seems like it's organizing a little bit more right there on the west side of Fayetteville. I think that's Pulaski Highway is what they call that there. I haven't really been on the western side of Fayetteville very much, other than, a few times. So, the sun is still shining here in Shelbyville, even though we have a tornado warning, 20 miles south of us. The sun is still out and about here in Shelbyville. So, yes, Chestnut Ridge is still under the tornado warning. Winchester, it'll be another 45 minutes to an hour, likely. So. So just to, reiterate, this tornado warning is only in effect for Chestnut Ridge and Moore County. This does not include Shelbyville. This does not include anyone in Bedford County, believe it or not. And this does not include anyone in Coffee County at this time either, okay? So this storm will likely stay across Moore County and maybe extreme southern Coffee County. But the worst of the weather worst of this storm in particular will stay south of Bedford County, okay? So the hook is getting a little bit more defined here, just kind of sitting here on the west side of Fayetteville. But some of those reds and greens are getting a little bit more defined. Might have a little bit of side lobe contamination here with this, so I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah, we, the hook is a lot better coming into western Fayetteville. So if you're in Fayetteville, I would go ahead and take my tornado precautions. This tornado warning is in effect for another 11 minutes. And, those of us in Chestnut Ridge in Moore County, I don't see really a reason to be concerned. Um, if this tornado warning was extended, I would actually be more concerned with from Lynchburg, and southeastward probably. But those in Chestnut Ridge probably not going to get anything more than just some light to moderate rainfall from this particular cell. So that is good news. But we want to take every tornado warning seriously. Just to be on the safe side. But that's at least a little bit of good news for those of you on Chestnut Ridge there in Moore County. Right along the 231 and 129 corridor there. The hook is becoming more well defined, and I think the low level rotation is starting to pick up here a little bit as it does enter Fayetteville. So keep that in mind there. If you're in Fayetteville, I would be taking my tornado precautions at this time. All right, let's go ahead and look at the velocity data on this newest scan here. Still seeing a little bit of rotation, not anything too extreme here, but you have the reds going away from the radar and the greens blowing towards the radar site. And, right in this area here is where, the tornado would be likely to form if there was one. And like I've been saying, I feel like a broken record at this point, but some of these storms have been producing tornadoes, even though they don't look overly impressive on radar. So keep that in mind if you're in Fayetteville. Just decided, I think I'm just gonna sit on the couch and eat my Cheetos here instead of going to my safe spot. These some of these storms haven't looked overly impressive on the radar, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't take this tornado warning seriously, okay? And we do have the tornado warning in effect until 3 o'clock p.m., okay? So 3 o'clock p.m. 7 to 8 p.m. is a little on the later end. I would say more like 5 to 8, just bring out the time a little bit further to the east, but or not further to the east, but further out, a little bit more leeway there on the timing, a little bit earlier in the afternoon there. So I would say 5 to 8 p.m. is what I've been telling people. So and I think that's a pretty good approximation right this moment. And just to let everybody know, those future radars on the Weather Channel and the news apps, I don't necessarily care for those. They're not accurate at all, and they lead a lot of people astray. And a lot of people like to blame meteorologists for the inaccuracies there on the future radars that they with those future radars on those apps, and it's just a computer, no human interaction with those radar apps. And I think that's one of the good things about meteorology is there will always be a human interaction aspect. There's just some things that a computer will never be able to do. And so I think that we'll be good to go in that aspect. So the Weather Service in Huntsville has said that they are about to issue a new downstream warning here. So a new tornado warning is going to come out here momentarily for more of Moore County and more of Moore County, and a little bit of western Franklin County, more than likely. but we'll see that here in just a second. And I also wanted to point out that a storm spotter in the Howell area of Lincoln County, that's north of Fayetteville, could make out rotation and a funnel cloud with this storm. So apparently there has been a funnel cloud reported with this storm. So that, again, goes to show that, even if it doesn't look overly impressive on the radar, there still could be something that drops down from the sky here. So that's why they're continuing the tornado warning here and going to extend it further into Moore County and likely a little bit into Franklin County as well here in the next 2 to 3 minutes. So we'll see what the new box looks like here in just a second here for Moore County. If you if you have specific questions about the threats or the storms that we're expecting later on today, I would suggest that you look on our page. I have plenty of different posts out about the timing of the storms and everything like that. But a new tornado warning has just been issued here. So this is the tornado sirens in Tullahoma are about to go off, okay? They took the warning all the way up to the city limits. So the tornado sirens are about to go off in Tullahoma, but the Tullahoma proper is not under a tornado warning, okay? I'm going to have to say that over and over again, so just get ready for it. Because there's going to be people joining in and asking, why there's a tornado warning and all this other stuff, okay? Yeah, there we go. The first people, yeah, there's a siren. The siren messages are rolling in hot now. So this new tornado warning includes Lynchburg, includes Hurdlow, includes Liberty Hill, Lois, all the way up to right outside of the Tullahoma city limits. Tullahoma proper, which is in Coffee County, is not included, but Motlow State Community College is included in this tornado warning. And this is for the cell coming just north of Fayetteville right now along 231 and moving off towards the east at 30 miles an hour is what we're doing. Yeah. So moving east at 30 miles an hour here. And the hook has got a little bit more well-defined here. I know I keep on saying that, but the greens coming towards the radar site, this is looking at velocity, and the reds pushing away from the radar site. And right here, just north of Fayetteville, between 231 and Highway 50, is where that possible, tornadic rotation would be. This also does include just outside of Vestal Springs. This includes just to the east of Winchester, or just to the west of Winchester. Belvedere is included in this. Timms Ford Lake, all of Timms Ford Lake is included in this tornado warning here. So a good majority of Moore County. So if you're in Moore County, especially Lynchburg, Lois, Hurdlow, Liberty Hill, you need to be seeking shelter at this time. That means the lowest floor of your home or a business, wherever you're at right now. You need to be away from windows, as many walls between you and the outside here with this tornadic thunderstorm that is located just north of Fayetteville and moving off towards the east at 30 miles an hour, okay? So I'm actually going to bring this just a little bit north of due east, and we're going to go at 30 here. So we have Mulberry in 10 minutes, Beach Hill in 29 minutes. So I would say Hurdlow probably, 20 minutes or so. And Lynchburg, I would probably say the heaviest rain at least will probably start falling in the next 15 minutes or so. And then we're getting into Winchester and Estill Springs in about 45 minutes, okay? So that's what we're looking at here with this tornado warning that is in effect for Moore County. Now, again, this does not include Tullahoma, okay? Tullahoma is in Coffee County. There are portions of Tullahoma that extend into Franklin County. I understand that. The sirens sound even if there's not a tornado warning for Coffee County. So we've been over this plenty of times before. I'm sure, hope I don't have to go over it again tonight with any storms, but I do think that the worst of this storm will miss Tullahoma proper. Okay, and you're not even under a tornado warning right now if you were in the Coffee County side of Tullahoma, okay, which is a majority of the city outside of a few neighborhoods there along 130 and 41A, southeast of town, okay? So the sirens are just turned off in Tullahoma, so that's good. Yeah, that seems to, Tullahoma, border city, it's hard to warn people sometimes. It's understandable. So looking at the rotation, still looking fairly good here, right along the Highway 50 corridor, just to the southwest of Mulberry here. We have the greens and the reds close together, and that means, we have the tornadic rotation there showing up. There's a video that was sent in the chat room. I do want to look at that real quick from the Lincoln County EMA. Yeah, so there is a lowering with this storm. There is a distinct lowering here with this tornado warned storm, and that was just sent in the chat room. And there's I don't know if it's a wall cloud exactly, but very distinct lowering out of the storm there. So that tells me that the moisture in the lower levels is increasing, and these storms have been quick to drop stuff today, very quick to drop stuff. Yes, Tullahoma is good, especially Tullahoma proper. You are, if you're in Coffee County side of Tullahoma, you're good to go from this particular storm cell anyway. Okay. Jeremy, yes, it is good that that they have the tornado sirens. It's a great way to let people know about warn people of tornadoes, or tornadic weather if you're outside. But it gets a lot of people worked up for a tornado warning that's not even in effect for them. So there are some downsides to that, and it's okay though. Tornado siren, tornado sirens are a great asset to communities. They're Franklin County, part of Tullahoma. So the storm hasn't really reached Moore County yet. Still, I know we've been out for all this time, but or been live for all this time, and the storm isn't even in Moore County yet. But like Oak Park here along State Route 130, and there's some kind of correctional officers training center or something along 41A there. That's technically Tullahoma, but in Franklin County. So, and there's a few, communities there right on the outside of Tullahoma, especially on the south side, that have Tullahoma addresses, but are not technically in the city limits of, or not in Coffee County. They're in Franklin County. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense there. But let's look at the velocity data here. Still seeing the reds and the greens here. Little bit of rotation showing up here on the radar. But we're cranking big time here with these with these storms so far. This afternoon. Yeah, Tennessee Corrections Academy. Yes. So we already have some more storms that are starting to get cranking. There is a confirmed tornado on the ground here with this supercell thunderstorm in Lewis County. So they just went with a confirmed tornado warning there observed on the ground. So there's, folks, it's going to be a long evening. All right, so buckle up. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings. I'm going to be, doing these live streams whenever there's a warning in effect for any of the 3 counties that I cover. But it's time to buckle up and make sure that you have multiple ways to receive your weather information. A good warning app on your phone. The NOAA Weather Radio station out of Winchester is still in service and covers Moore County, Coffee County, and Bedford County. You can look it up on Google. Just type in the Winchester TN, NOAA Weather Radio station, and it'll give you the frequency and information you need there. The Beech Grove NOAA Weather Radio remains off there and has since October of last year. So just make sure you have multiple ways to receive weather warnings as the afternoon goes on here. Okay. Cassie, no one said that you were in the clear. We just said that the Coffee County portion of Tullahoma is not in the warning, which it's not. So you can, listen to my big spiel about it later on if you want to, but I've already went over it a few times. And people still seem to get confused about it, which is understandable. But, if you're going to make comments about it, saying that I'm wrong or anything like that, then you you need to actually listen to my explanation of it, and you'll understand exactly what we're saying here. Okay, so let's go ahead and check on the rotation here. Still seeing some reds and greens close together here south of Mulberry. So, and again, this is moving off towards the east-northeast at 30 miles an hour. So next up for this rotation is going to be between Lois and Liberty Hill. Okay, Lois, Liberty Hill, Hurdlow, and Marble Hill is where this tornadic rotation is going to come near. It probably is going to go just south of Lynchburg. Okay, Lynchburg is still going to get some heavy rain here, but there is a confirmed lowering with this tornado warning. No visible funnel cloud, no visible tornado, and the rotation is not overly impressive. But as I've been saying, I feel like a broken record, but a lot of these storms have not been super impressive, so far today. Chestnut Ridge is all good from this tornado warning. Yes, Chestnut Ridge there along 231 and in northwestern Moore County is good to go from this particular tornado warning. Okay. This particular tornado warning is good to go. Normandy not expected to get hit by this tornadic thunderstorm. This or I should say rain shower. I don't even know if it's producing lightning. Okay, it is producing a little bit of lightning. There's been 2 lightning strikes, and I'm not really sure why the lightning isn't showing up here on my end, but I just thought I'd note that it is producing 2 lightning strikes. So it's doing better than the Lewisburg storm that probably put down a tornado a little bit ago. It didn't have a lightning strike at all. So, oh, this particular tornado warning this storm will probably stay south of Tullahoma. I'm getting pretty confident that it will. So that's good news. So again, if you were in Moore County, pretty much everywhere in Moore County, but especially Lynchburg, Hurdlow, Liberty Hill, Marble Hill, you need to be taking your tornado precautions at this time. Shelbyville, Bedford County will not be seeing this tornado warned storm. This specific one. There could be some later on this evening though. So Manchester, you're not going to see this particular storm. This should stay mostly south of, Coffee County for the most part, and come across Franklin County here. So, looking at the velocity, still not overly impressed here. We do have a little bit of a hook echo showing up, but not overly impressive. But something to keep in mind. We have the warm inflow air coming in, and then the cold air outflow wrapping back around the storm here. And again, just south of Mulberry here, moving towards Hurdlow and Liberty Hill, and Lois here in extreme southern Moore County is where I'm mostly concerned with right now. The storm has started moving a little bit more right, compared to the northeastward motion it was taking a little bit ago. So this tornado warning remains in effect for another 38 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and look at the Franklin County EMA camera and see if we can see anything. With it's probably still too far away. It looks like that it just went offline. Okay, the Space Institute, you can see the at least the the stratiform rain there on the northeastern side of the storm. Showing up there pretty well from the UT Space Institute outside of Estill Springs. So in Tullahoma, we'll be seeing a little bit of light rain over the next little bit, but the Coffee County portion of Tullahoma is not under a tornado warning. So looking at the rotation again, the red's blowing away from the radar, the green's blowing towards the radar, and not overly impressive rotation, but this is where, the tornado would be. Probably a good lowering, with this storm. Estill Springs proper is not included in this tornado warning right this moment. That could change as the storm continues to push off towards the east, though. Yeah, around 5 to 8 p.m. After 8 p.m., we should start to clear out for the rest of the evening. And looks like beautiful weather for the rest of the week. So, Tullahoma is going to be south of Tullahoma. Light to moderate rain be possible in Tullahoma over the next 10 to 15 minutes, but the tornado threat is going to be south of Tullahoma. Jack Daniels are getting some heavy rainfall there. I'll zoom in here to Bedford or to Moore County, excuse me. So here's the heavy rainfall here, just especially south of Lynchburg, between Lynchburg and Lois along State Route 50, and then or both sides of State Route 50, Fayetteville Highway, and going out towards Winchester too. Mulberry up to Lynchburg, heavy rainfall, and then Lynchburg over towards Timms Ford Dam, some pretty heavy rainfall too. But the tornadic, the tornadic concern is going to be down here with this hook. It doesn't even look all that impressive to me at this current moment. We're getting very close to the radar site, so we're getting a good view here of the storm. But it just doesn't look overly impressive at the current moment. Now, this storm has cycled a couple times here. And storm supercells will do that. They'll go through stages where, they'll drop a tornado or two, and then they'll go quiet for a few hours, maybe not hours, but 30 to 45 minutes, and then it'll re-strengthen. The lightning will pick up on it. It'll get some, heavier rainfall, maybe some small hail, and then it'll drop another tornado, so there's a lot of precursors too. tornado development that's being researched, especially with supercell tornadoes, and that's one of them is lightning production. Being a good precursor to tornadic development. If your tornadic supercell has a lot of lightning, usually that means that the updraft is getting taller, and could be some better ingredients available for tornadic rotation. So, just going on a little tangent there. This will stay south of Tullahoma. So lowering can be, we really use the word lowering lightly. So, a lowering could be anything from a non-rotating wall cloud to a funnel. It could be any one of those things. It could be a scud cloud too, scary looking cloud, anything like that. But usually when we have, a lowering within the rotational area of a thunderstorm, that means that we're getting some of that moisture from the ground getting picked up and sucked up into the updraft of the thunderstorm. And that's, a good precursor to tornadic development is getting the moisture at the lower levels so that vortex can extend all the way to the ground. But of course, there's other factors. There's a lot of crazy factors that go into tornadic development beyond, just what I've mentioned over the past minute or two. But those are two of the big components of it there. So, I need to check the chat room. Okay, I'm not seeing it in the chat room. So, can you be more street specific and more? Yes, I can. So let's zoom down here, street level view here. Now we're getting really low, and I've got to get really low to be able to see some of these street names. But Wet Prong Road, Alexander Lane. This is over towards Marble Hill here. Short Creek Road. I know this is probably making a few of you dizzy. I apologize for that. Winchester Highway, so that's going to be Highway 50 there between Lynchburg and Winchester. And Marble Hill Road is also, included where this rotation is going over right this moment. So, yeah, there's a definite lowering, and there could have been a tornado on the ground just a couple minutes ago in Fayetteville, it looks like. So, from the picture I'm seeing right now from James Spann, a meteorologist in Birmingham. So, even if we don't have it doesn't look overly impressive on the radar, but we could very well have at least a small tornado on the ground here. Coming into Marble Hill in extreme southern Moore County. So, again, if you are along Preston Ridge Road, Wet Prong Road, Bear Branch Road, I'm going to come over here real quick. Fox Hunter Lane, Preston Ridge Road yet again. Murari Lane, I probably mispronounced that. And Dry Prong Road yet again. Or there's Wet Prong and Dry Prong both go down through here. I forgot about that. So, I'm seeing some pictures that have, I've seen some pictures there out of Fayetteville from a meteorologist out of Birmingham, and could definitely have a tornado on the ground. Or could have had one just moments ago. So this storm needs to be taken very seriously. There's been, some reported lowerings, and it's hard to tell with the picture I just saw if it's exactly on the ground. But we'll we'll leave that to the experts at the Weather Service if the time comes and there's actually damage reports. So the tornado warning has been trimmed back, so Lincoln County is now clear of the tornado warning here. But we still have the tornado warning in effect here for Moore County. So everyone basically in Moore County other than Chestnut Ridge is under this tornado warning at this current moment. And again, we have a good hook, showing up on the radar here. So the hook shows up when we have warm, moist air pumping into the thunderstorm, and then we have the cool outflow air from around the back side of the storm wrapping back in, and that's where they meet right there on the outside of the hook, and where we could have the possible tornado coming right over Wet Prong Road in southern Moore County, or Dry Prong Road, excuse me, in southern Moore County, and moving towards Preston Ridge Road and Wet Prong Road. Okay, let me make sure I got that right. Yes, okay. One day I'm going to get the wet and dry correct on those street names there. So T-Town will not be seeing Tullahoma. Will not be seeing this much from this storm. This will be a, Estill Springs and Winchester problem. If you're in Estill Springs or Winchester, watch this storm very closely, very, very closely. The siren is going off again in Tullahoma, apparently. But Tullahoma is in the clear from this particular storm. Now, let's look back over here. Yeah, there's a lot more. You can see them lined up all the way down through there. We have boxes galore of tornadoes, severe thunderstorm warnings, all sorts of stuff. So to say we're in the clear for the rest of the evening is that would be a straight up lie. And we definitely have more to get through after this clears, with especially with the main event that is expected between 5 and 8 p.m. this evening. Okay, and I'll continue to have updates, of course, as always. But we'll we might go off for a little bit here after this tornado warning clears Moore County, and then we'll come back on if needed. So coming over, circulation is coming over Wet Prong Road right now, and Preston Ridge Road, right around Beach Hill there on the Moore and Franklin County line. You can see that with the reds and greens, and then here is where that possible tornado would be. And it's about to come right across Timms Ford Lake, and probably right in the Deckard area, over the next 15 to 20 minutes, okay? So if you're in Deckard, if you're in Estill Springs, if you're in Winchester, you need to be thinking about getting ready to seek shelter here over the next few moments. And let's go ahead and look. I'm going to check the sky camera here. It's very sunny, very, very sunny from the sky camera there in Shelbyville. Yeah, the atmosphere is heating up and is getting a lot more unstable here, with and going to be ready here for some good afternoon storms after a while. So gonna continue talking about this tornado warning here for a couple more moments. Expires in 22 minutes here, and there have been some lowerings reported with this tornado warning, and right along this hook right outside of Marble Hill is where this possible tornado would be moving towards, and will likely come, kind of parallel Highway 50 Winchester Road Lynchburg Road, excuse me, in Franklin County over towards Winchester and Deckard, okay? So that's really what I'm seeing right this moment here with this, tornado warned storm. There's a lot of wind energy in the atmosphere today. There is the wind profiles aren't overly impressive, but there's still some pretty good wind energy aloft. And right there, south of Beach Hill and right outside of Marble Hill, right on the county line there, is where this possible tornado would be located at, okay? And you can see that there with a pretty good hook showing up on the radar. And we do have a few lightning strikes showing up too, so, as I mentioned, that it's always a good estimate for, the strength of a storm. The Lynchburg, if you were in downtown Lynchburg, you were good to go from this particular tornadic thunderstorm, okay? I don't understand why people are trying to call me right now. I apologize for that. So if you're in downtown Lynchburg, you are good to go from this particular tornado warning. But we'll continue to stick on it here for just a little bit longer anyway. And the hook has gotten a lot more defined here over the last couple scans. Still look like, possible tornado here over Beach Hill, or just to the south of Beach Hill there in extreme southern Moore County, moving into Franklin County at a fairly good speed here. But you can see the rotation here pulling the supercell. You have the updraft extending up, and the downdraft air is wrapping back around here. And then this is where the updraft air would be. Probably have a good wall cloud right outside of Beach Hill. Might even be a funnel cloud at this point. But this is coming directly over Timms Ford Lake. So if you live along Timms Ford Lake, if you live in Winchester, you need to get ready because this storm is coming to you next. And this is a Franklin County EMA camera, and I can't really pick out anything in particular that looks that interesting right this moment. But some rain might be in the way there from seeing the really good part of the storm. So downtown Lynchburg is good to go from this particular tornado warning. So if you were in Jack Daniels, downtown Lynchburg, the Moore County High School, the Woodard's Market, there's all sorts of stuff around Highway 55 down through there. Y'all are good to go from this particular tornado warning. Is what I'm trying to say. There definitely be others worth watching later on this evening, but for the time being, Lynchburg proper is in the clear from the tornado threat. This tornado warning remains in effect for another 17 minutes here, but the worst of the storm is about to exit Franklin County, and the rotation is getting a lot more defined here just on the other side of the Franklin County line. I'm actually going to look at so, it's a little bit less, a little bit more tight compared to being as broad as it was a little bit ago. Still not seeing any signs of rotation, but this is going to be almost directly over the Timms Ford State Parks there along State Route 476 in Franklin County there. So a pretty good hook indication showing up here, and this is where the tornado would be if there's a tornado on the ground. It would be right in here. So right on the other side of the Moore County line. And we'll very shortly be able to give Moore County the all clear from this particular tornado warning. Okay, so if you're in Franklin County, you're going to continue to see this storm over the next 45 minutes or so, especially Winchester, Deckard, maybe just north of Cowan as well, up near Swanee. But the worst of the storm, this particular storm in Moore County, is about to come to an end. So again, we do have a tornado warning that remains in effect here for Moore County, and it's quickly moving out of Moore County. Okay, and we'll be out in just a moment here. I'm gonna this tornado is very close to to being on the ground here. In extreme western Franklin County. And again, this storm is moving towards Winchester. So keep that in mind if you're in Winchester. This tornadic storm is moving towards you. And this right here is going to be probably the far northern end of the far northern end of the wall cloud. That's being seen from the Franklin County EMA camera here in Winchester. I wish I could move the camera a little bit further, pan it over a little bit further to the left, because there's a good chance that there might be something on the ground here. At least the rotation looks a lot more well defined than it has over the past 45 minutes or so. Well, it's kind of died back down now in the latest scan. So lots of pulsing up and down with this storm. But the good news is that the worst of the storm has exited Moore County, so I can now officially say that Moore County is in the clear from this tornado warning, okay? Moore County is in the clear from this particular tornado warning. Now, we're still going to have storms later on today. And into tonight, there's going to be, damaging wind gusts potentially up to 70 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour, with a line of storms, a broken line of storms. A few tornadoes cannot be ruled out. And, there is a threat for at least some pea to nickel-sized hail too, okay? So this storm is likely going to miss Hillsboro. It's just moving a little bit too far to the south, especially the tornadic portion will likely miss Hillsboro here. Still watching extreme southeastern Coffee County just in case. But the tornadic part of the storm is going to miss Hillsboro. It looks like the storm has started to take more of a northeasterly component again. So I'll draw this out at 30 miles an hour. Yet again, so Estill Springs about 30 minutes, Deckard 18 minutes, Mont Eagle 44 minutes, Pelham 44 minutes, Tracy City 55 minutes, Colmont and Altamont around an hour. Okay, so that's if it continues on its same current trajectory and path that it's taking right this moment. But you can still see the hook here on the showing up from the Huntsville radar site here, and moving towards the north and east, and could impact just outside of Pelham in the extreme southeastern Coffee County, right around um, I-24. But I don't see it being a major concern right this moment for Coffee County, but I'll be sure to keep everyone updated if something changes in that direction. Okay. Um, this storm will not do much of anything, especially for Bedford and Coffee County's severe weather threat. Um, the sun has been out the whole time in Shelbyville that I've been tracking this storm. So there's it's not doing much for us. Not doing much for us. So the roads along the line, I'm just going to do the major roads here, but this would be like along or State Route 127 here, and US 64, AEDC Road that goes along Woods Reservoir. But again, I think this will stay. The worst of the storm is going to stay south of Hillsboro. You're still going to get some rain, especially light to moderate rain, over the next 30 to 45 minutes or so. But I don't foresee this being a major threat for Hillsboro proper. Okay. Um, and the 41 and I-24 corridor there, right along the Coffee County line, could be impacted by this too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this going, keep this radar loop going here, and keep the live stream going just in case this storm decides to perk up just a little bit more and another warning or a warning is required for Coffee County. But for the time being, I'm going to take a little bit of a break, get some water, visit the restroom, and I'll be back if needed on this particular live stream if there is a severe tornado warning that is issued further downstream for, Coffee County. So, just stay on here if you want to. I'll come back on and maybe answer some questions here in a little bit, or at least do it from my phone. So, yeah, I'll continue to keep everybody updated. So, just to reiterate, Moore County is in the clear from this particular tornado warning. Okay, there is no longer a tornado threat in Moore County for the time being, at least. There are additional storms that'll move in later on today, but for the time being, this the tornado threat is over for Moore County. So I'll be back if needed. And thank you so much for tuning in. This has been meteorologist Elijah Kirby with Shelbyville Weather. Yes, I've this was just a radar loop, but I will come back on here for a moment and say that the tornado warning has been extended here for Franklin County. So this includes Winchester, Deckard, Estill Springs, and Swanee. Okay, um, I'll go ahead and show the velocity data here. Not seeing anything super impressive there. Maybe some stronger wind gusts over Estill Springs right now, heavy rainfall, potentially some small hail. But in terms of tornadic rotation, just not seeing anything super impressive at this current moment. I am continuing to watch the storm as it moves, into southeastern Coffee County, just in case, a tornado warning is needed there. I think the tornadic rotation will stay south of Coffee County, but, I'm going to keep a close eye on it just in case. Thank you, Michelle. So I hope you can still hear me. At least, hope you can still hear me. I don't know. But no one's saying anything, so I'm not sure. Can someone say if they're hearing me? Okay. All right. So I got confirmation. Thank you, Keith. Um, so still watching the storm, as I said a minute ago, but the tornadic rotation anyway is not overly impressive here. And if there is an active tornado on the ground, I would cover it for Franklin County, even though you're not technically in my coverage area right now. But the wind is going to pick up. The winds at the UT Space Institute right now, 4 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour maybe. So, um, you know, we'll keep a close eye on it here as it tries to skirt right across extreme southeastern Coffee County and onto the Cumberland Plateau into Grundy County. But for the time being, I don't see anything worth talking about. Worth staying on here for. So I'm just going to keep the radar loop going for now, and if I need to, I'll hop back in. Okay. Yes, everyone can hear me good. So Tullahoma again is in the clear. All Lemoore County is in the clear. Really just watching extreme southeastern Coffee County potentially, but if you're in Swanee, Estill Springs, Deckard, and northern portions of Winchester going up towards Deckard, I would definitely be in a safe place just until this storm can pass by. Okay, so I'll be back on here in probably 15 or 20 minutes if nothing else has changed. In that time, and be able to give the all clear from this storm for extreme southeastern Coffee County. But if you're in Hillsboro, you're good from this particular storm. So Hillsboro, Tullahoma, all good. Moore County, all good. Bedford County's been all good for the time being. But sunny skies and lots of storm fuel building up for later this evening. So don't say that we're definitely not done with the severe weather threat this evening. Okay. The Weather Service has just said that they're watching the storm coming out of Franklin County. So I'll go ahead and put a projection on this moving off towards the east at 30 miles an hour. So Alto, 20 minutes. That's for you there, Miss Shelby. Said that they were in Alto. So you have about 20 minutes there in Alto. Deckard, 5 minutes. Swanee, 23 minutes. St. Andrews, 26 minutes. Monteagle, 30 minutes. And Tracy City, 42. So getting up on the plateau there in Grundy County, over the next 45 minutes or so. But most of Coffee County is going to be good to go from this storm. This is probably going to be mostly a Grundy County, Grundy County problem, unfortunately for Grundy County. But here's the Coffee County line, so you can kind of see where it juts down just a tad bit there, and then here's where the possible tornado could be located, and this is moving off towards the east. So we'll see what the Weather Service decides to do with that, but I'll be back on in 15 to 20 minutes and give an update. But for the time being, I'm not seeing anything overly impressive here with this tornado warned storm. Okay. All right, so we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that is about to come out here, and I wanted to talk about this specifically because there is some pretty big hail that's coming down here over extreme northeastern Franklin County, including Shady Grove and Wilder Chapel here in extreme northeastern Franklin County, and probably getting some probably quarters to golf ball sized hail here. Showing up on the radar from Huntsville, and this hail core is moving towards I-24 here, likely near the US 64 exit, right outside of the Coffee County line. Okay. So, probably some large hail about to come down. And, just make sure that you're aware of that, especially in extreme southeastern Coffee County and near Pelham. So, I wanted to show too with this particular tornado warning, or this particular storm, it's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning here for Grundy County and potentially extreme southeastern Coffee County. But the correlation coefficient, which is what we use to detect debris, is also showing the correlation coefficient here that shows the debris is also, picking up on some of the lower values here, which is likely large hail here, quarter to golf ball sized hail that is likely coming down here right on the right around Shady Grove and Wilder Chapel here in extreme northeastern Franklin County. And again, this is moving towards Betsy Willis and Prairie Plains there in southern or southeastern Coffee County, and right near the US 64 and I-24 Pelham exit too. So I'm probably going to have some quarter to golf ball sized hail, falling here over the next few moments. And I also wanted to point out this storm is very strong, very, very strong. Because if we go to a different radar site here in let's do the Macon, Georgia. Yeah, the Macon, Georgia radar site is picking up on the cloud tops within this thunderstorm over, Grundy and southeastern Coffee County. So this storm is very, very tall and likely getting some at least, quarter to golf ball sized hail falling here in extreme northeastern Franklin County, and then moving into extreme southeastern Coffee County and onto the Cumberland Plateau in Grundy County. Okay, so a lot of county borders, showing up here, but the large hail threat should not be ignored for those traveling along I-24, especially if you're, coming off of Mont Eagle Mountain right now. I would probably just pull over and wait there at Mont Eagle because I wouldn't want to drive into this hail, coming up I-24 there between Prairie Plains and Pelham in extreme southeastern Coffee County. So Tullahoma, it's already past you. Um, I'm trying to. Yeah, Tullahoma's all good. This is strictly a extreme southeastern Coffee County threat here, right along the Grundy and Franklin County line. Okay, even south of Hillsboro here. So this is very extreme southeastern Coffee County. Large hail is the main threat here that I'm seeing with this particular storm cell right this moment. Now I'm gonna go back to the correlation coefficient, and this product again can show us large hail on top of debris, and you can see that debris showing up here pretty well here. Prairie Plains over to Betsy Willis in southeastern Coffee County. Bedford County, I mean, I guess it's past Bedford County, but it never went through Bedford County to begin with. So it's hard for something to pass if it never hit to begin with. But this is not round two. Round two will be between 5 and 8 p.m. this evening. I'll go ahead and show the bigger view here. Yeah, there's a lot of storms we got to get through. A lot of storms. So we're definitely not done. I am especially concerned at this point in time with this severe thunderstorm over Boonville, Mississippi, and Iuka, Mississippi, because this could be on a general track towards the northeast. Might go a little bit south of our area, but something to keep in mind there. And these are just isolated supercells, right? So we have this main line of storms here, kind of broken line, but still nonetheless a line of storms here that will be pushing in from the west over the next few hours, okay? So that's kind of what we're looking at right this moment here. But again, we do have this severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here for extreme southeastern Coffee County for the potential of some large hail. And like I was just showing, the radar from Macon, Georgia, that's over probably 200-300 miles away. I'm not exactly sure. But that's a long ways away. And it was picking up on the top of the thunderstorm that is centered over, this severe thunderstorm that we're looking at right now. So this is a very tall thunderstorm. Tall thunderstorms are more likely to have large hail just because it's colder, up at the top of the atmosphere, and you have the updraft that extends higher up into the atmosphere. So pretty basic science when it comes to that stuff. But we'll keep a close eye on this storm over the next couple minutes here. If you are on I-24 between Monteagle and Hillsboro, I would just pull over to the side of the road if you can. Just let this storm come on by, especially with the large hail that we could be seeing here over the next few moments in extreme southeastern Coffee County. Okay. There was a tornado that was trying to form. Laura, that's a good question, but I did not see any conclusive pictures of a tornado on the ground there. So again, if you were on I-24 between Monteagle and Hillsboro, I would just pull over to the side of the road for a little bit. Do not park underneath the US 64 overpass on I-24. That blocks up traffic, and it's not very considerate of other people on the road, okay? I've seen it happen plenty of times before, and hopefully people are smart enough around here not to do that, but a lot of times, especially in big cities, when they get a hailstorm, the cars will park underneath the bridges. 300 miles to Macon, Georgia. Yeah. That's a long ways away. So if that tells you how strong the storm is. Oh my, let me get rid of that. I don't. Apparently, the scammers have come into the live stream chat room because I just somebody wanted to talk about I don't know, a therapist or psychiatrist. I don't know what it was, but uh, anyway, we're not talking about that right this minute. We're gonna talk about this hailstorm here. Um, so we could have some quarter to maybe golf ball sized hail here falling between Pelham and Alto along US 64, and quickly moving into um, Grundy County here. Okay, so we'll be done with this storm very very soon, and then it's time to start watching all this marvelous activity off to the west. A lot of yeah, it's going to be a long afternoon, folks. It's going to be a long afternoon. So again, like I was saying earlier, if you make sure you have a couple radar apps or weather apps installed on your phone for severe weather alerts, I'll be posting them as well here on Facebook and on Twitter. And I'll be going live if there is a severe thunderstorm warning, like I've been doing the past, what seems like the past 2 hours or so. I've been live doing this severe weather coverage for this tornado warned storm, and then now it's kind of weakened and turned into just a normal uh, severe thunderstorm. So. This is, I would kind of consider this round 1.5, or maybe the start of round 2, just because I did mention with round, or it's round 1 of scenario 2, I guess, because the forecast update I put out this morning laid out the scenarios and rounds and stuff, and this would be like the first round isolated supercells, and then round 2 will be later on this evening. But lots of sunshine to be seen across the area. The sun is heating things up. So round 2 could get pretty rough. So just keep that in mind. So honestly, I think the large hail threat has pretty much come past Coffee County here. Um, it's really moved into Grundy County at this point. So I think I'm gonna hop off here again, and we're all good to go just for this moment anyway. I'm gonna be watching, these cells that are firing off here. We need to watch these over, down here in Mississippi too. You can't see them. I'll scroll down here. So we are not in the clear from the severe weather threat, not by any stretch of the imagination. But for the time being, some severe, we're all clear from the severe weather right this moment. There is baseball sized hail coming into Franklin right now. So if you're in Franklin or know anyone in Franklin, let them know that there is baseball sized hail. The chat room they're talking about that right now. So baseball sized hail will be possible in Franklin over the next 15 to 20 minutes. So Keep that in mind, please. Keep that in mind because that is a very, very dangerous storm up there in Franklin County, or in Franklin, not Franklin County, Franklin, Tennessee, the city, Williamson County. But anyway, I'm going to hop off the live stream here, and I'll be back. I'm sure I'll be back after a while. I'll keep on doing radar updates and other stuff, answering questions. But for the time being, I'm going to sign off. So I will be back on if and when needed later on this evening. But I hope you guys have a great little bit of time here before I hop back on, I'm sure. But yeah, continue to stay weather aware and stay tuned to Shelbyville Weather for updates. This has been meteorologist Elijah Kirby.